time to get this thing started. Fools. All of you. Fools, all of you. It's time to get this thing started. Fools. All of you.
Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for coverage of the iRacing Superstock League Superspeedway Series, sponsored by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Tonight, we will be at the virtual Talladega Superspeedway for 30 heart-pounding laps in the NASCAR Gander Outdoors trucks. I'm your announcer, Atman Weiss, and I will be calling the race tonight as we're getting set for some action-packed racing here at Talladega. And I'm sure some of you might be a little bit tired of Daytona. Of course, we haven't even had the 500 yet, but we are going to be racing at Talladega tonight, so this should be an exciting one. The format is 45 max entries. I'm not sure if we actually did hit max entries. 5 will advance from qualifying, which is 2 laps. Then we'll have 2 15-lap heats, where 10 will advance from each heat. And then with all that said and done, 25 drivers will be starting the race. Now also, these drivers had to pay $25 to get into this race, but there is a chance to win $300. That's right, first place is going to be getting $300. Second place will also get good $180. Third, $135. Fourth, $115. And fifth place will get $100, and whichever driver has the lowest incident count at the end of this race will also get $70. In last race winner Garrett Maines was also the cleanest driver, so he ended up getting $370. We'll see if the winner will get that prize. Now, I do want to thank the sponsor for tonight's race. I mentioned them a lot, but I mean, it's a great company. Tonight's race is sponsored by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Since 1997, Fort Worth Screen Printing has provided quality screen printing services to promotional products distributors, marketing firms, advertising agencies, and users all throughout the United States. Fort Worth Screen Printing is the official apparel supplier of two big NASCAR racing teams, which will probably be at Daytona, Mike Harmon Racing and Rick Ware Racing. Now, if you are in need of some quality screen printed t-shirts for anything, doesn't matter what it is, then look them up on Facebook at Fort Worth Screen Printing, or I provided this link in the description. You can find them online at fwscreen.com, and even if you're not interested in buying, I recommend going to their website, and you can actually see some of the work that they've done on some screen printed t-shirts, and they do awesome work. But if you are interested, make sure to check them out on Facebook and visit their website at fwscreen.com. We do have 30 seconds left in practice, and so far, Travis Turnmeyer in that 54 machine has had the fastest lap of the race. There he is in that red, white, and blue machine. He had a 51.74 here in practice, which is about a tenth faster than second place CJ Mason with a 51.89. He's going to be a driver to look out for. Speaking of looking out for, I do want to mention the point standings before we head into qualifying. Currently, Justin Botello, he's 10 points ahead of second place Curtis Critchley in points. Both of them have wins. Raymond Rudanor, the second, is third in points. Matthew T. Lee, fourth. And John Garrett, fifth. And as before we get to qualifying, let's take a quick gander at the weather before we get started. 65 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the lowest temperature it can possibly be on iRacing. 55% humidity, partly cloudy, and 2 miles per hour wind. So if there's one thing that won't affect the outcome of this race, it's definitely the weather. Pretty chill weather for this race. Not like fog or rain or anything like that. Don't have to get out the rain tires. There we go. We got drivers getting off, getting set for their qualifying lap. Travis Turnmeyer in that 54 machine. He was the practice leader. He's getting set. Hunter Parsons, Curtis Critchley, Andrew Navarro. Got some familiar names. Everyone is getting set to see who is going to be the fastest. And remember, top 5 here in qualifying advance to the race, and they don't even have to sweat about heat races. And before we get too deep into the qualifying action, if you're currently watching, make sure to share that stream. On Facebook, you can do it. On YouTube, you can do it. And if you're watching on Twitch, you can also do it there. It does give exposure to the league, iRacing Superstock League. It also gives exposure to the sponsors, or screen printing, and it also gives exposure to these drivers. So make sure to share, and who knows, you might know someone who's also very, very interested in racing and might really enjoy the content here at Intensity Broadcasting. But for a lot of these drivers, this is going to be their first time lap, as Travis Turnmeyer just a second ago crossed the start-finish line. Remember, the start-finish line is actually after the tri-oval. And, we got a driver on the board, Paul Mulrain. He had a 1 second time. 1 minute. 1 minute and 1 second. That's actually very, very slow compared. Hopefully he can improve on his second one. I bet that will be beat here in just a couple seconds. And as I say that, Hunter Parsons in the 00. gets on the board with a 56.65. He barely beats out. And oh, and as I say that, Torrey Thompson in that 88 machine, man, he's 0.5 faster than everyone else. And oh my gosh, as I say that, let's wait a little bit as we're waiting for everyone to just get on the board and let everything's calm down. And all right, Travis Turnmeyer with a 55.79 currently is your leader here in qualifying. Still a lot of great drivers need to get on the board though, including points leader Justin Botello, Crystal King, Stephen J. Harper. There's Raymond Ridenour II. He's always in the mix here in these iSSL Superspeedway Series races. Always in like the top 10, pretty much. As after, this is, what is this, week 6 now? We've pretty much seen who is the best, as every single time we see recurring names on who's up front. Definitely Raymond Ridenour is one of them. He again is in second place, but still nobody's been able to top Travis Turnmeyer. There's John Ernst. Seventh place got Dave Farmer in that 84. Looks who's on the track right now. Garrett Maines, who raced in the eNASCAR Coca-Cola Series on Monday. He's getting ready to set his qualifying lap. He was actually last race winner, and he wasn't just last race winner. That was his second win in a row for Garrett Maines. So we'll watch him as well. He's a name that we always talk about. And with all these names, there's got to be someone that you're rooting for. So make sure to drop a comment on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, whichever platform you're watching on. And make sure to give a shout out to who you're rooting for. Either that, or if you're not rooting for someone, just maybe look at the board and see who you think has a chance to win, and maybe just make like a blind pick. Even if you don't know the drivers, that's okay. You can still look at qualifying and see who you think would be fastest on the track. Grayson Scott in that 48 machine. He got up to 5th with a 55.86, but still, nobody's been able to top Travis Turnmeyer in that 54 machine. Now for me personally, for my prediction, I am going to have to go with that 27 B-Leaf Racing machine of Curtis Critchley. He's always in the mix. He did have a little bit of trouble last race, got involved in that wreck, but it ended up staying under green despite a lot of cars getting involved in that. So that ended up getting Curtis Critchley out of contention for that race, but it's a whole nother race. It's a whole new race, whole new day, and we'll see how he fares. Again, make sure to tell us who you are rooting for. There's John Garrett. He's also a consistent front runner, 50-year-old from Tyler, Texas, in that Fort Worth Screen Chevrolet. And there's, speaking of Fort Worth screen printing, there's Justin Botello, our points leader, in that Fort Worth screen printing machine. That is the sponsor for tonight's race, and jumps all the way up to 10th on the board with a 55.87. He's stopping on pit road. There's Michael White. He was in a few of the earlier races, but he's kind of had a hiatus. So it looks like we're glad Michael White is back racing in these races. He's always a fun driver to watch. Matthew T. Lee, another consistent front runner in that 04 machine. 2 races ago, he ended up pushing Garrett Maines to the win. He's a fantastic pusher, but also, if he can get out front, he's a great puller as well. So also keep your eye out for that 04 machine of Matthew T. Lee, as there he goes across the line. And, oh, nope. So this right now is going to be his first timed lap here at Talladega. Let's see how well he can do. Looks like I've gotten word that right now we're at 951 followers on Facebook. We're going to help us get to 1,000, as we are going to 1,000 by April 27th. So if you're watching right now, you enjoy the content, then make sure to drop the follow on Facebook, as we always stream some of the best iRacing races, and I'm sure tonight will not be an exception. As right now, Matthew T. Lee, there he is, running the apron. He's gonna get 4th on the board. 55.84. Man, nobody has been able to beat Travis Turnmeyer. Now, pretty much everyone has gotten on the board. The little break in the action. We're going to go ahead and go straight to our national anthem sung by Jordan Dean, and hopefully you all enjoy it. It's a beautiful rendition.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Again, an awesome rendition of the national anthem by Jordan Dean. Good job to her. We are now looking back at the racing action, and looks like nobody was able to top Travis Turnmeyer, Raymond Ridenour II, Jared H. Torres, and a few other names that I didn't get time to mention. They all will not, the top 5 in qualifying, will not have to worry about heat races. But speaking of heat races, here's the starting lineup of heat race number 1. Grayson Scott in the 48 machine. He had a good time of 55.855. He is starting on the pole here at Talladega. Starting second is Crystal King. Starting third, we got Andrew Navarro. Outside of him, we have points leader Justin Botello. And rounding out your top 5, we have the number 17 of Colin Williams. Sixth, got Pete Pellini. Starting 7th, we have Jason Nethery. Starting 8th, we have Stephen J. Harper. 9th is Brandon Gagnon. And then outside of him, we have Kyle Harbin. Starting 11th, we have John Ernst in that 71 machine. Starting 12th, Taylor Peacock. 13th is Casey Herring. 14th, Darren Halliman. And rounding out your top 15, it's Zach Patton. Starting 16th is Ron Morris Jr. 17th is Jeffrey Wallace. Then outside of him is the 88 of Torrey Thompson. And then starting last but not least, we have Wyatt C. Martin. We do have some shout outs on Facebook. Carol Hansley says, good luck, Andrew Hansley. Got Nikki Barth Cronover, says Anthony Cronover. And then we also got the 84 section present. Dave Farmer is going to make some moves. We'll see. He's a great driver. We saw him make some good moves in the past here on Intensity Broadcasting. So watch that 84 of David Farmer. He might be in the second heat race. There's Colin Willems in that 17 machine, 31-year-old. 77 of Pete Pellini. Just doing a quick flyby of the field to see where your favorite driver or your pick is starting in heat race number 1, if they are starting in heat race number 1. Now, these remind me a lot of what happened last night, the Daytona duels. Eric Almirola and Austin Dillon won those. Here's John Ernst, 20-year-old from Columbus, Nebraska. That Oculus car. Casey Herring, love the Tar Heel number 2 machine. Just check the field. There's Ron Morris Jr. Look through everywhere. Corey Thompson. And then starting last, we got Wyatt C. Martin, who is league owner's Ian Martin's brother. There we go. Look back up front. Starting on the front row again, we got Grayson Scott and Crystal King. Here we go. All on the pace car driver. And then it'll be on the leader. All right, there you go. That Mustang dips on off onto pit road. And we're going to go through this long tri-oval before we get set for heat race number 1. I know. And there we go. The 48 of Grayson Scott takes off, and green flag is out here at Talladega Superspeedway. Gets a great start here at Talladega, but that's not always as well as it might seem to be, because that means that all the people behind him can group up and get a good run behind them. Looks like Crystal King and the 20 of Justin Botello lock up with each other. 17 of Colin Willems heads up there as well. And the 48 of Grayson Scott he has that 2 machine, and then the 77 of Pete Pelini. Crystal King clears that 48 of Grayson Scott, and she's going to take the lead here at Talladega. It's now going to put the 20 machine of Justin Botello as the leader of the high side. He's getting a good push from that 17 machine of Colin Willems. And we're doing better than the NASCAR truck race tonight. It actually got started without a caution. I don't know if you all heard, but the NASCAR truck race, which is tonight, it started off before they even went green. There was a caution. So it looks like we were able to get a better start than them. Looks like Justin Botello, he takes the lead. He jumps in front of Crystal King, and that now puts Colin Willems as the leader of the high side. I believe Brandon Gagnon pushing him up there. You also got Taylor Peacock up there as well. And we're side by side for the lead as Colin Willems is getting a good push from Brandon Gagnon. And Colin Willems right now has the lead here. Or at least the nose. It's going to be the lead soon as he's getting a great run. I think he's trying to get it so both him and Gagnon can go down, and they do. So both Colin Willems and Brandon Gagnon go down to the bottom. Brandon Gagnon heads back up to the high side, and he's going to get a push from the 20 machine of Justin Botello, who at one point led this race, but then looks like he moved back up. And then both of them go back down. Looks like, I believe there was enough room for Taylor Peacock to go down. Are they going to do it? They do go down to the bottom, which means that the 34 of Jason Nethery is the leader of the high side, and he has that 2 of Casey Herring behind him. And Jason Nethery get a good run on that 83 machine of Brandon Gagnon. Got Nick Mather says, let's go Colin Willems. He's got great track position right now in that 6th position. See if he can try to make a move. And also Marcia Stewart Brandon says, let's go Stephen Harper. Stephen J. Harper, he's currently in 14th right now. He's kind of in the danger zone currently as he is behind the cutoff. So he's going to have to make some moves if he wants to get up into the top 10 and have a chance at $300, potentially $370 if he keeps it clean. We'll continue to keep track of that 21. Absolutely love the paint scheme of his. Awesome. I don't know if he got it from someone or he made it himself, but kudos. That's a great paint scheme there. 76 Union car. As we look back up front, the high side is kind of fading out right now. Jason Nethery trying to get something done, and he also has Casey Herring. Herring's trying to get him a good push. Just not quite enough. Justin Botello giving Brandon Gagnon a good push. On the bottom. We do see some other drivers up there. There's Darren Halliman. He's up there. And the 34 of Jason Nethery. Well, Justin Botello, he moved up there. We're 3 wide for the lead. And you can do that at Talladega. It's a little bit risky, but Talladega is a little bit wider than Daytona. So, I mean, you can do 3 wide. We'll see if they can hold it consistently. As Jason Nethery, when he went 3 wide, I'm not sure if Justin Botello forced him up there or if that was a decision he made himself. And oh, contact! Got cars in the wall, and the first caution of the race has come out at lap number 5. With 10 to go, here is the wreckage replay. We got cars spinning and everything, but we will go ahead and check out what exactly happened here in this incident. It's got something to do with that 34 Jason Nethery. And here we go, we got it up here. So watch that 34 machine. As again, he was 3 wide. Ooh, maybe some contact between him. There was some contact between him and Jeffrey Wallace. He gets into the rear quarter panel of John Ernst. 48 machine of Grayson Scott. They get into each other. Wyatt C. Martin hits the wall. Stephen J. Harper is able to make it through, along with another car. I believe that's the 14 of Kyle Harpin. At the 88 of Torrey Thompson is able to avoid it. Check that out one more time. And this is a good view right here. Cockpit view of Jeffrey Wallace. This could give us a new point of view, because there's always 2 sides to the story. Let's see if this helps us see exactly what happened here with the first caution. I don't know if it was a bad push behind him or he moseyed up or Nethery came down, but that's pretty much how this incident started. Oh, yeah, Nethery getting some terrible damage. Jason Nethery, Zach Patton, John Ernst, Kyle Harbin, and Grayson Scott are all on pit road in real time. And when the caution flag came out, Justin Botello was the leader here at Talladega with Casey Herring not far behind. Everybody currently is heading off of pit road. We're gonna just take a quick little flyby of the field. See where your favorite driver's currently at. Taylor Peacock, Pete Polini in the Royal Crown Cola. Colin Willems, 31-year-old from London, Ontario, Northern Canada. Crystal King, Stephen J. Harper. He had some shout outs on Facebook. Darren Halliman in that 420 machine. Ron Morris Jr. Love the name of the porta potty company. There's John Ertz, 20-year-old from Columbus, Nebraska. Got Kyle Harbin. Jeffrey Wallace. And I'm not sure they're lined up side by side. I believe we are going to be green. Nope, next time by, I think. They're going to be going green. They're already lined up side by side, those eager beavers. I guess they're chomping at the bit to go back green. Yes, the lights on that Mustang have gone off. We're going to go back green here to finish out this heat race. Now, I do want to look at this. Currently in 10th place, we have Darren Halliman. If the race ended right now, he would get that final transfer spot. But in 11th place, we have Torrey Thompson. So, got a close race between everyone. So we're going to definitely keep an eye out to that transfer spot. Because pretty much from 9th to 13th, from Halliman to Ernst, that's kind of the danger zone where there's going to be a lot of beating and banging. Everybody try to squeak in to the top 10. Now, everybody behind John Ernst is going to have a tall task at getting up front. Again, starting on this front row, we got... Oh, looks like we do have a shout out. Let's go CGE cars. Got Pete Polini, Andrew Navarro, and Jeffrey Wallace. That's from Dan Gallant. But we'll see. Navarro's actually in 3rd place right now. Polini's in 5th. So 2 of the 3 CGE drivers are currently in the top 5. So, good heat race so far for CGE. That's Critchley Gallant Engineering. Let's go on board right now with Justin Botello. Starting on that high side with Casey Hearing on the bottom. Justin Botello actually chose the high side. So there we go. As you can see, that's a very, very long trial. Full bunch of fans in the stands. As they're ready for some action. There's Barney the flag man waving that green flag. He's jerking his arm around a lot. That has to hurt. He finally switched into 4th gear once he got to about 155 miles per hour, and he's in 4th gear. That's the highest these Gander Outdoors trucks will go, and he ended up going down to the bottom, and he's now the leader here. Here's just a quick little gander at a lap around Talladega now. The crazy thing about Talladega is the banking. This is 33-degree banking, as there you see Andrew Navarro peek in there on the high side. But look at that banking. That's 33 degrees, about a degree larger than Talladega's brother, Daytona. But Talladega in length and banking is actually bigger than Daytona. Also, the reason why this is a day race is because a lot of people don't know, but Talladega is not meant for night racing. And if we tried to do a night race on iRacing, I know a lot of beginners, when they first tried to do a night race at a track that didn't have lights, they can relate. It would have been pitch black. I made that mistake one of the first times that I was on iRacing. So Talladega is an awesome track, and I'm already excited for when NASCAR gets to it on the schedule. Of course, we do have that Daytona 500, which everybody, I'm sure all of you watching are definitely excited for that. And as I look on the board, we got 5 laps to go. So let's go now to our 10th place driver, Stephen J. Harper to check out that battle for the final transfer spot. We're going to let everything sort itself out up front. Grayson Scott taking the 10th spot. Oh, and we're seeing some wrecking with 4 to go. And the second caution has come out, and that was right around that transfer spot. Good thing we looked over there because we caught a glimpse of that wreck. But to further see what happened, we'll check out that wreckage replay. Man. All right. Here is the incident, or the incident that brought out the second caution. So 48 tried to make it 3 wide. He did, then caught the rear quarter panel of the 420. They get down into that 81 machine of Taylor Peacock. They collect Casey Willems, and it all goes downhill from here. Stephen J. Harper gets involved. He clips John Ernst. Does the 76 Ron Morris Jr. make it through? Yeah, they wreck down to the bottom. Ron Morris Jr., can he make it out okay? Looks like he does. Yep, there's no chance that they'll come up into him. So Ron Morris Jr. does a great job avoiding all the mess. And as we look back up front, Justin Mettello was the leader when the caution flag came out. And I believe we're going to have a green-white checkered attempt for heat race number 1. So that should be exciting up front, but it's also going to be really, really dicey from about 9th to 13th is about the danger zone. Ron Morse Jr., Stephen J. Harper, John Ernst, Wyatt C. Martin, and Torrey Thompson are those 4 drivers, or 5, that are in the danger zone. As a few of those names that I mentioned, like John Ernst, Grayson Scott, and Darren Halliman, all go down onto pit road. This is a sweet aerial view that we got. This is from the blimp, maybe the Goodyear blimp. Here goes Jason Nethery getting back on the lead lap. Or I think he might have been 2 laps down, so now he's 1 lap down. If we do get another caution, he'll be back on the lead lap and in contention for this thing. Well, I do want to update you all on this truck race if y'all are wondering. Ben Rhodes in the 99 Toyota ended up winning the truck race, and I think he was in the top 3 last year. Jordan Anderson finished 2nd, Corey Roper 3rd, Ryan Truex 4th, and Carson Hosevar finishes 5th. So that's the final finishing results in the Gander Outdoors truck race, which is what we're racing in tonight, except for it's not Talladega, it's at Daytona. So make sure to tell us on Facebook who you were rooting for in that truck race. If you have a favorite truck driver, I know the trucks aren't quite as popular as, say, the Xfinity or the Cup, but I do know a few people that are like big into the truck racing. So if you do have a favorite truck driver, make sure to tell us in the comments. We might shout you out later. I believe this time by, lights on the pace car will go off. And right now in 11th place, if the race ended right now, Torrey Thompson would be out and Wyatt C. Martin, that black car in front of him, would be in. So again, very, very stressful from the drivers from 9th to 13th. They're going to try to get in to the top 10. as I look ahead at that pace car, and is it still blinking? No, I think we're going to be going green this time by. We are going to be watching from the angle of Tori Thompson, because really, up front doesn't matter too much. I mean, of course, they'll race it out, but all that's going to matter is starting position. This is for a chance to get into the race. These drivers back here. There goes Jeffrey Wallace pulling outside of Tori Thompson. Colin Willems also there. In that Canadian Tire machine. He is from London, Ontario. I mean, I do like that 17 paint scheme. It's pretty sweet looking. So far, my two favorite paint schemes in this one, definitely that 278 of Crystal King and then Casey Herring's UNC car. Tell us who's your favorite fly ride in the comments. I mean, there's definitely, I mean, a lot of it depends on what's your favorite color preferences. I know I like the blues and the pinks and the purples, but you could like some of the darker colors, like maybe some reds, oranges, and yellows. I mean, it all depends on your color preferences, so should tell us, I mean, who do you like out on this field? Who's got the flyest ride? And we might see some more fly rides in heat race number 2. But right now we're focused here on heat race number 1, as we're going to have green-white checkered attempt number 1. As that Mustang is pulling down onto pit road. And we are back green here at Talladega. As there goes Justin Botello taking off. He immediately pulls down to take the lead. Oh, somebody like pulls way down. And that was Jeffrey Wallace. He took that spot away, 10th place spot, from Colin Willems. Let's look at that battle there for 10th. They're side by side for that transfer spot. Third caution's out. Is that behind them? We'll see with the wreckage replay. We went green and looks like... Here it is right here. John Ernst looks like the 21 of Stephen J. Harper. And then I think that's the 420 of Darren Halliman. Got into it. Yep, they just made some contact there. And then both of them head onto the apron. But the thing that got John Ernst involved is that the 76 swings back up onto the track right into John Ernst. Had nowhere to go. John the Animal Ernst, you see on the back of his truck. And then here comes, boom, Jason Nethery plowing and says, hey, I'll join the wreck party. That 34 machine. But it was in the back portion of the field, so not too many people got involved in it. Stephen J. Harper and Jason Nethery in real time, they go on pit road. Didn't even get, and since we didn't get to the start-finish line, we will have another green-white checkered attempt. There is that 99 of Jeffrey Wallace, who is currently in 11th because in front of him, Colin Willems is currently in that transfer spot. And if Ian Martin decided to end the race right now, Colin Willems would get that final transfer spot. So it's gonna be another big battle between, I'd say, Wyatt Martin, Colin Willems, Jeffrey Wallace, Tori Thompson, Grayson Scott. Like we got 7C's events on YouTube says go CGE. Man, CGE's got a cheering section. And again, that's Andrew Navarro, Pete Polini, and Jeffrey Wallace. And we're looking at Jeffrey Wallace right now, who is in 11th, as he's going to try to make it into the top 10. Will we see all CGE drivers make it into the race? And there is some more coming up, as we still got to see Curtis Critchley race. I mean, he's one of the names, Critchley Gallant Engineering. In front of them, let's see, Polini's in 5th, and Andrew Navarro's in 2nd. So again, Polini and Navarro, both of them are, so we got 2 CGE cars in the top 5. CGE is one of the teams here in the iSSL Superspeedway Series. As I'm sure there are a few other alliances here, but a lot of times you just pick a random person and you just stick with them. We saw that with, I believe it was Raymond Ridenour. He pushed Garrett Maines to the victory. I don't think that they had any teammate collaboration connections of sorts, but still Raymond Ridenour ended up pushing Garrett Maines to the win. Okay, I can see why 7 Seas Events is the sponsor of that 2 machine of Andrew Navarro. He's the 42 on your ticker. And then he's the 2 on the track. So, sponsor giving Andrew Navarro a little shout out. It's always cool to have sponsors on the sim. There's the 20 Fort Worth screen printing and splash and go graphics machine of Justin Botello. He's currently our points leader. He's 10 points ahead of Curtis Critchley with CGE. So these two have been battling it out. I think they've been like back and forth on who's first in points. They're like, no, I'm first in points. No, I'm first in points. So we'll see who ends up getting the championship. It could be something else. I mean, Garrett Maines is on a 2-race winning streak. Also, I mean, Matthew T. Lee, he has a win. Raymond Ridenour II, he's a great driver. So is John Garrett. And lights on the pace car have gone off. We're going to be going back green, and I think he's been doing that in this entire time. The 20 of Justin Botello chooses the high side. That's going to put that 2 of Andrew Navarro on the bottom. Hey, thank you, John Fowler, for following us on Intensity Broadcasting as we are on the road to 1,000 on Facebook. I really appreciate that. Hopefully you're enjoying so far heat race number 1 here at Talladega. It's been pretty good racing so far, as we're now getting set for our second green-white checkered attempt. So let's go ahead and take a look now at our transfer spot. That's where we'll watch this restart from. Right now in 11th place is Wyatt C. Martin. He's going to be starting side by side with the other person who is in the transfer spot, Tori Thompson. As actually, a lot of these drivers aren't currently lined up correctly. I think whoever's in Taylor Peacock should be all the way up beside that black car. I mean, they're probably going to bunch up when we get into this tri-oval here. Man, this heat race has gone on for 30 minutes. It's been a pretty long heat race. And oh, we're not going green this time by. We're going green next time by. We'll do a little bit more pacing before we go back green. Thank you, Rolly Andrew Navarro, for following us on Facebook. That's greatly appreciated. Hopefully you are also enjoying broadcast so far at Talladega. Now, a professional restart for these drivers definitely requires the drivers to get tight on the restart. So a driver can't lay back to get a run on the start. And a lot of times, that's in a lot of league rule books, you're not allowed to lay back on the start because it can actually give you an advantage, especially in tracks where you have to let off. It might not be quite as big of an advantage as here at Talladega, considering your full throttle, but especially at like short tracks and intermediates like Atlanta, Phoenix, those kind of tracks, laying back can definitely be a big advantage. So that's not allowed in this league. Can't lay back on the starts. So it requires the field to get bunched up. We're currently watching from the point of view of Wyatt C. Martin, who he's starting side by side. Him and Torrey Thompson right now are side by side for the transfer spot. I think he's going to end up pulling up by Casey Willems. Pace car pulls in. Now these drivers are going to try to maybe get a run up the middle, like make it 3 wide, or maybe try to make it 3 wide on the outside. You can do that at Talladega. 3 wide is possible. So we'll see if we maybe see some 3 wide racing. As we are back green here at Talladega Superspeedway, and moving into 10th is Colin Willems with Jeffrey Wallace trying to take it from him. Colin Willems moved down. Oh, Jeffrey Wallace is blinking a little bit. There's Grayson Scott moving down below. Oh, and him and Torrey Thompson make contact. They have to make it to the start-finish line, or else we'll have yet another attempt at the green-white checkered. And these other drivers are starting to run away. Jeffrey Wallace is trying to get up there to Colin Willems to try to take the lead. Ooh, Jeffrey Wallace is blinking. 17 of Colin Willems moves up. And we're side by side for that transfer spot. Wyatt C. Martin has it right now. Can they make it to the start-finish line, or will they wreck before it? They gotta have Justin Botello. Oh no, and they wreck! But it looks like they're gonna finish it right here. So Stephen J. Harper is gonna take that final transfer spot. What? Because there they go. They wrecked across the finish line. So here's Grayson Scott right here. So they end up wrecking in front of them. So that knocks like Wyatt Martin, Torrey Thompson out of contention. And so we're switching now to the next session. But Justin Botello ended up winning that heat race. And there we go. We're gridding for heat race number 2. As there we go, we got the starting lineup out. Here we go. So starting on the pole is actually the number 1. He had a good time of 55.856. It's NASCAR Coca-Cola Series driver Garrett Main starting second. We have the 66 of John Garrett. Third is Christian Sanford. Outside of him is Curtis Critchley. And rounding out your top 5 is Matt D. Horton. 6th place, we have Brandon Chuburko. 7th is Anthony Cronover. Starting 8th is Dalton J. Martin. 9th is Heath Snyder. And then outside of him is Chance D. Manning. Starting 11th is Dustin Koffel. 12th is Rick Cole. Starting 13th is David Farmer. Outside of him is C.J. Mason. And rounding out your top 15 is Hunter Parsons. Then we have 16th place. It's Andrew Hansley the 4th. 17th, James Batzer. Starting 18th is Carl Staton. And starting last but not least, we have Michael White. Here we go. Getting set for this race here at Talladega. Starting on the front row, we got Garrett Maines in that one machine. And then outside of him, we have John Garrett. Now, Garrett Maines he's won the past 2 races. So, everybody is trying to beat him. See if we can have a different winner. Or will Garrett Maines make it 3 in a row, or will we see a different winner? I'm talking about 3 in a row for the actual race, but will we see a different winner tonight during the actual race? Got to get through heat race number 2 first. And behind them, we got the 28 of Christian Sanford, and also 27 of Curtis Critchley. We're waiting for that pace car to pull in. And there we go, he pulls down. Gonna have that long tri-oval, and then we will go green here at Talladega Superspeedway. And green flag is out here at Talladega Superspeedway. Great restart to John Garrett. We're side by side for the lead as we enter turns 1 and 2, with looks like Garrett Maines has the nose over John Garrett. And Garrett Maines is now clear of the 66 of John Garrett. We'll see if Curtis Critchley can give him a good push, but Christian Sanford is giving Garrett Maines a pretty good push in that 28 machine. And Garrett Maines looks like John Garrett is coming back. There is the view of the person who's pushing John Garrett, Curtis Critchley. And man, he's right on that bumper of John Garrett, and he'll occasionally jump up there to just cool off the car. Wait, I just saw a car disappear to the bottom. At first caution, I'm like, did he get into the Bermuda Triangle? Let's see what happened there in that wreckage replay, because I didn't catch that, so we'll see what happened. Yeah, it was Christian Sanford. It's like, poof, he disappeared. Here is the replay. Got that 84 car behind him. Remember, can't push the pusher. Here we got the 84. See what happens here. So it looks like Horton just got a bad touch. Yep, he pushed the pusher. And that sends Christian Sanford around. Makes some contact with Horton. That he collects Dalton Martin, 82 machine. 43 is able to turn left and pray and avoid it. And same thing goes for Grayson Scott. Hunter Parsons avoided it. But man, that's a shame for Christian Sanford. Looks like the 2 and the 09 are able to avoid it as well. Man, it's definitely disappointing for 28 of Christian Sanford. As a bunch of people are heading onto pit road. Anthony Cronover, Dalton J. Martin, Dustin Koffel, CJ Mason, James Batzer, Michael White, Matt Horton. We'll see what all Sanford does here on pit road. Do they have a reset? So he's going to get some tires, right sides. All right, he's going to get 4 tires. And he's gonna have to wait a little while for that damage to get fixed. And unlike other racing games, on iRacing, your car just magically floats in the air. No pit crews comes out. Because if that would happen, if they had to like digitally animate those pit crew, your computer would not have much RAM left. It'd take a lot of stuff from the task manager. Probably be running about 97% of your computer. They had to animate all those crew members coming out to fix your car. I think it's funny that the car magically floats in the air. It's pretty cool. But looks like when the caution flag came out, Garrett Maines was the leader. John Garrett. So the top two has stayed the same throughout this green and yellow flag run. Critchley staying there, and also we got Brandon Chuburko. Got a great name, Chuburko. And that Post Malone machine. Take a look, go throughout the field. John Garrett, the 50-year-old from Tyler, Texas. There's Curtis Critchley. He's from Kitchener, 21 years old, with Brandon Chuburko in that Post Malone car. Heath Snyder, TCG player. And that's his Chance D. Manning. It is in his esports team car. David Farmer in the Traxxas machine. Rick Cole in the iRacing car. Hunter Parsons, he's the 22-year-old from Green Bay. CJ Mason. There you go, Carl Staton in his Yuengling car. CJ Mason again. There's Andrew Hansley, the fourth. Lowe's. James Batzer in the Mason-Dixon Racing Series. And then Ariana Grande for Matt Horton. So we are getting set to go back green here. Lights on the pace car have gone off. We're getting set to go back green here. To have some shout outs. Dan Gallant says, let's go Critchley in. Garrett Maines. Both of them are also part of CGE. Critchley Gallant Engineering. And man, CGE has had great luck in these heat races as Garrett Maines and Curtis Critchley both are in the top three. Of course, that's not to say that they're two great drivers. Critchley being second in the point standings, only 10 behind Justin Botello, who was our Heat Race 1 winner. And also, Alex Healy, Diggity Dave Farmer, number 84. Let's go. He's in the top 10. He's in 7th. So he's had a pretty good race so far. Was able to avoid the wreck in the Traxxas machine. As there goes the pace car down onto pit road. And we are getting set to go back green here at Talladega. As we'll see. We'll watch Garrett Maines' gears, and there you go. Miles per hour starts to go up. At around 110, he shifts to third, and I think at about 155 he'll go to fourth. About 151 miles per hour. That's the farthest, again, these Gander Outdoor trucks can go. Some cars can go to 5th or 6th or even 7th gear, while like the Silver Crowns and the Modifieds have 1 and 2 gears. So, I mean, iRacing has a plethora of different cars, 80 plus cars to be exact, and they're always adding more. And that's actually a great opportunity. I don't always advertise it a lot, but I mean, if you like what you're seeing, you can actually get in this yourself. Varying on how much you want to spend, you can get into iRacing. You just need maybe a computer and a wheel, and you'll be good to go. It's only $15.99 a month, but I mean, that's very little compared to how much you're getting. 80 plus tracks, 80 plus cars to drive on those tracks. You can race with your friends, host races like this, and maybe come out and join us. And you can actually join these iSSL Superspeedway races. All you gotta do is, I mean, the races do sell out pretty fast. We didn't have a sellout crowd tonight, but a lot of times the spots get sold out fast. So I'd say do it around Wednesday or Thursday before the race. I'd contact Ian Martin or the iRacing Superstock League. You can contact them and get yourself a spot in the race. And also, if you're interested in Demolition Derby, they do have a series, the iSSL Derby series, which you can also race. So whether you want to do super speedway racing or a demolition derby, definitely contact the iSSL if you're interested in running in these races for a chance to win some prizes. This one's only $25 to enter, and the derby series is free to enter. So that will fill up fast. As right now we're on board with Brandon Schuberko as he's trying to overtake the lead from Garrett Maines. Right now they've been side by side for a little while. He's got the nose right now. And this is exactly what Schuberko is seeing on his iRacing. Whether he has a rig or just a simple setup. Oh! Caught the wheel a little bit there. That definitely lost him some track position as Garrett Maines clears him. I'm not sure what happened. I know Talladega has a big fat bump that can mess you up if you go, like, if you hit it. So I think that was probably what got Schuberko. He hit the notorious Talladega bump. You experienced super speedway racers know what I'm talking about. We'll see if Schuberko will have anything for Garrett Maines. Who's behind him? I think that's Chance Manning in the 43. Oh, caution's out! There goes Mr. Pace Car out of pit road. That's how I saw that there was a caution, but looks like we found where the incident occurred. Ooh. Christian Sanford and Carl Staton involved. Already, there's a quick little sneak peek. Contact. We'll rewind it a little bit. Then we'll check it out in slow motion. So Horton moves down. And I think Staton moved up, and then they meet themselves in the middle. That Ariana Grande song? Anyway, the 88 then ends up getting contacted. The 24 involved. The 000, Hunter Parson. Oh, no, that's Mason. Yeah, he's in the Ariana Grande car. Oh, my gosh. But anyway, there you can see some more carnage here at Talladega. Chris Sanford, he gets into the 26 machine of Rick Cole. And that iRacing car, don't disrespect iRacing. They've done so much. And all these drivers, from Maines to Grayson Scott, ended up getting through this thing. John Garrett got through it. Heath Snyder, Manning, Schuberko. When the caution flag came out, Garrett Maines was the leader. As we're nearing 5 to go, so it's now crunch time. From 9th to 13th. Michael White, James Batzer, Christian Sanford, Hunter Parsons, Anthony Cronover. All are looking to try to get a spot in the feature. Ooh, Colin Willems says, "Come on, Michael White, iOS, the iRacing Oval Series." Let's see, where is he at right now? Michael White is in 9th. So Michael White is in the top 10, but he is in the crunch time. Now, he's actually the biggest mover of the race. Michael White is. He's gained 10 positions. Michael White started in last. I guess he's been able to maneuver some of the wrecks, and he's gotten to 9th. So keep an eye out for Michael White. Of course, he is in the danger zone in 9th place. So he's going to try to fight for a chance to win $300. But first, he's got to get there. Got Garrett Maines up there, Curtis Critchley, Brandon Chuberko. As pace car continues to do what it does best, pace. I mean, love the pace car. The pace car is a key thing to iRacing. I'm not sure which Bodine, but one of the Bodines is driving it virtually. And then the flag man is Barney the flag man. He waves the flag very vigorously and hurts his arm a lot. As we're going to do a quick flyby of the field. But I mean, Barney the flagman, he comes out to all these racetracks, whether it's rain or snow or warm weather, or if he's burning out in the heat, he comes and he just does his best and he waves his flag. I mean, I know the iRacing community, and those of you watching definitely appreciate what Barney the flagman has done for esports and the iRacing community. So, I mean, we applaud Barney the flagman. Thank you for your service and servitude of iRacing for all these years since iRacing first started. Along with the virtual fans in the sim and on Intensity Broadcasting that came out to watch this race. Before we get started again, currently watching, please make sure to share the stream, as it'll give good exposure to the drivers, the league, and the sponsor. And who knows, somebody might see it and they never knew that they liked racing, but when they saw this awesome action at Superspeedway, they might actually fall in love with racing. You never know, so make sure to share that stream. You can do it on all 3 platforms, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, whichever one you choose to watch on. Oh my gosh, John Pellegrino sent 500 stars, man. Thank you. Hopefully you're enjoying this action so far at Talladega. Appreciate that. As we're going to be watching from the view of Christian Sanford with 5 to go, because he's currently in 11th. Michael White is in that transfer spot in 10th with James Batzer outside of him. Here we go. Let's get set and see what happens here with a 4-lap shootout. We're going to be back green here in the front of the field. And there goes Christian Sanford. He gets into 10th. Now looks like Rick Cole's in 10th. Wait, did he make some contact with James Batzer? Oh no, looks like James Batzer was able to save it. I thought he might have wrecked there. James Batzer falling behind. Looks like now, oh, 3 wide. Yeah, they're falling way behind. Now look at Anthony Cronover in that 82 Hava. Oh, caution's out. Looks like. I think oh, yep. Pretty sure it had something to do with that 7 machine of James Batzer, and it did. Right after we were just checking in on those 3, something happened, and we'll see exactly what happened here with this wreckage replay. We were 3 wide. We saw that. Boom, just some contact between Cole. That launches him down, but that wasn't the reason why James Batzer went around. I'm not sure. I mean, that was just a racing deal. I'm not sure who moved up and who moved down, but they met in the middle and just boom. CJ Mason, and then the 7 machine of James Batzer get into the wall. It was like there was a magnet on the wall that like prevented, oh, there's some damage. But the front end hit the wall, but it didn't get too much damage. But there goes James Batzer in that 7 machine, involved in that incident. As I think we might have our first green-white checkered attempt here. We're going to do some more pace laps. But it does give these drivers a little bit of a breather with all the stress that is super speedway race. I mean, I wonder if you had a heart rate on a NASCAR driver all throughout the schedule, what track would have the highest average heart rate? My prediction would be it'd be either Daytona or Talladega, or possibly a short track like Martinsville or Bristol, or maybe the dirt track that we're going to have this year, Bristol Dirt, which they're setting up on iRacing right now for your enjoyment. If you saw on Twitter, we retweeted an awesome post. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Intensity Broad 1. That's actually a hidden gem. Not a lot of people know that we actually have Twitter. We don't really post a lot. We do post stream links so you know when we stream. And also, we retweet some funny tweets just so y'all can have a good laugh. It looks like the virtual mud clears were out at the Bristol Dirt. And it was very hard for them, as they're just trying to get Bristol set. As Bristol Dirt is one of the next tracks in line. I think Bristol Dirt is going to come out in the iRacing Spring Update, the 2021 Spring Update, when that comes out. I mean, last update we had was amazing. We got Long Beach Street Circuit, Lamborghini Huracans, which were 2 awesome updates. The Dallara IRO ones, which were sweet to get added. So, I mean, iRacing is always pampering us with new tracks and cars. Oh, and iRacing Superspeedway, the 3-mile-long Superspeedway. Oh, Owen Weiss says, get it, Schuberko, in the Post Malone car. He is right now in the top 3. He's been doing pretty well so far. Just hasn't been able to get by Garrett Maines. Oh, Eldora would be the NASCAR track that would have the highest heart rate. Yeah, Eldora, I mean, those dirt tracks, I think it'd be a dirt track. I don't know if maybe Chili Bowl, Knoxville Nationals, or Eldora would definitely be a track with the highest heart rate, because you really got to sling that thing. You're right, John. I mean, that Eldora would be, Eldora or Bristol Dirt, I'd say, would be the 2 stressful tracks for these drivers. lights on the pace car have gone off, so we're going to be going back green this time by. And again, I mean, it happens. I think the high side, people always choose the high side because, of course, the start is on the leader, so the leader can just get a good run and then just move down. So that's what Garrett Maines was thinking there. He's known for choosing the high side. And he's got, well, it's the two CGE drivers starting on the front row in this restart. Critchley and Maines. So, let's see who's going to come out on top between the CGE drivers. But let's not focus on front. Let's look at the battle for that final transfer spot. Anthony Cronover is in 11th. Starting outside of him is Hunter Parsons. Getting very nervous. I'm sure all of them are getting very nervous right now. We're getting set to go back green. There's also Dalton J. Martin there. He's trying to get into the feature. That Toyota, Chevrolets, Fords. All right, here we go. Once you see Garrett Maines take off, we're back green. There you go. Green flag is back out here at Talladega Superspeedway. Now let's watch it right here. Right now in that transfer spot is Hunter Parsons. Getting into 11th is the 318 of Dalton Martin. Anthony Cronover trying to get down there. Oh! So Dalton Martin is going down trying to make the pass on Michael White to take that 10th spot. We're side by side. So Michael White's still in that transfer spot. We're 3 wide. Oh, here comes Cronover. Again, 3 wide for that transfer spot. There goes Horton on the bottom. Matt Horton. So now Martin has that transfer spot. David Farmer's trying to get in. Man, this is stressful here coming into the final stretch. Here comes Cronover again. And we go across the start-finish line for the final lap here. We watch right now. David Farmer has that chance. Ooh, the 66 of John Garrett got loose. And oh no! We're crashing here. So, looks like in 10th is Andrew Hansley, now Carl Staton. Michael White goes by Carl Staton. Hunter Parsons now in 10th. And unless Carl Staton can get a good run, I think Hunter Parsons is going to get that final transfer spot. So here we go as we're going to cross the start-finish line, I believe here. Unless maybe they wreck in front of him. Hunter Parsons is going to get that final transfer spot. Boom! Number 0 gets it. So Carl Staton ended up being very close, but he didn't make it into the feature. Congratulations to Hunter Parsons for getting that final transfer spot. But all of this heat racing doesn't matter right now. Because now, the only reason why we did these 2 heat races was to actually get to the actual race. So here we are, getting set for this 30-lap race here at Talladega Superspeedway in the Gander Outdoor Trucks. Here we go. Everybody is gritting for this race. We're getting hype, getting excited. And here we go. Starting in the first position with a scorching time of 55.789. In the 54, it's Travis Turnmeyer. Starting second, it's the 87 of Raymond Ridenour the second. Starting third, we have Jared H. Torres. Outside of him, we have Matthew T. Lee. And rounding out your top five, we have Paul Mulrain. Starting sixth, we have Justin Botello. Seventh is Brandon Chuberko. Starting eighth, we have Andrew Navarro. Ninth is Chance D. Manning. And outside of him, we have Casey Herring. Starting 11th, we have Garrett Maines. 12th is Brandon Gagnon. Let's see, 13th is Heath Snyder. 14th is Pete Pellini. And rounding out your top 15, we got Curtis Critchley. Starting 16th, we have Crystal King. 17th, Christian Sanford. 18th is Colin Willems. 19th is Anthony Cronover. And then outside of him, we have Taylor Peacock. Starting 21st, we have Michael White. 22nd is Jeffrey Wallace. Starting 23rd is Andrew Hansley IV. Outside of him is the 420 of Darren Halliman. And starting last but not least, Hunter Parsons. Here we go, getting set for this final race here. This is going to decide who is going to get $300, potentially $370 if they have the lowest incident count. Oh, and if there is a tie in the lowest incident count, they give it to whoever was the highest finisher. So, I mean, you get a little bit of a bonus if you keep it clean. So of course you do want to get aggressive, but there could be a handsome reward if you keep it clean. But of course you do want to finish high. There we go. Dan Gallant says, let's go Matthew T. Lee, Andrew Navarro, Curtis Critchley, Pete Pellini, Garrett Maines, and Jeffrey Wallace. I think all of the CGE drivers made it into this race. So you got a handful to root for, Dan Gallant. Carol Hansley says, let's go Andrew Hansley. And then Nick Mather says, let's go Colin, just like last week. Colin Willems actually ended up finishing fourth last week. He had a great performance. I think that's what he is referencing, either that or something that happened in the iOS iRacing Oval Series. Pace car pulls in. We are getting set for 30 laps. Take a deep breath, and green flag is out here at Talladega Superspeedway. Getting the early nose is the 54 of Travis Turnmeyer. Getting a good run, though, on the outside is Raymond Ridenour. There it is, the good pusher, Matthew Lee. He's getting up behind that 87. Let's see if these two can work together and get the 87 out front and maybe bring the 04 with him. And we are side by side as we go onto the back straightaway. Close race so far. But the 87 of Raymond Ridenour has the nose. And also, that's it, courtesy to a great push by Matthew Lee. They couldn't quite get clear of the 54 of Travis Turnmeyer. So we stay. Looks like Travis Turnmeyer gets the nose again. Somebody's going on the very, very high side. I believe that's the 7. Or no, that's the 2 of Navarro? Yeah, that's the 2 machine of Andrew Navarro. And look, there he goes. He's clear of the leader and heading down to be the new leader of this race. We got the Doggy Daycare Center, Lucky Dogs machine. And look, he's got the Intensity Broadcasting sticker on the car. Appreciate that, Raymond. And he's now the leader here at Talladega. But now we got Justin Botello and Matthew Lee hooked up with each other. We'll see how well of a pusher Justin Botello is. He's the points leader. He's always consistently up front. He has 128 points and he's 10 points ahead of Critchley, who's trying to get a good performance after getting in a wreck last race. He's 16th right now. is. Getting the nose is the 04 of Matthew Lee. Looks like he's clear of Raymond Ridenour, and there he goes. New leader. It's the 04 of Matthew Lee. And that now puts the 20 machine of Justin Botello as the leader of the high side, and he has the 12 of Brandon Chuburko behind him in that Post Malone machine. We'll see if he's a good pusher. They also got Brandon Gagnon behind them. Man, we're side by side as during 3 and 4 between Lee and Botello, but Botello has the nose now, and Botello moves to the third line. He makes it 3 wide, and he's just going to fall way behind. I think Brandon Gagnon is trying to create a space for him to fill in. He can't quite do that. I'm not sure what happened there to the 20 of Justin Botello. He just moved up to that third line, and there he is, fading fast. He does have the 28 of Christian Sanford also up there. I think he might hook up with them. There's also Michael White turnover near there as well. As we look back up front, with Justin Botello getting shuffled out, that's now going to put the 12 of Chuburko as the leader. And man, Justin Botello has just the number. He fell 15 positions, and he's the farthest faller. Also, Chance D. Manning, he started in 11th, I think. And Chance has fallen 13th positions to 22nd. So both of those drivers right by each other are trying to work their way back up through the field and regain some of those spots that they lost, especially Justin Botello, points leader. As looks like the 04 of Matthew Lee is clear of Brandon Chuburko. Chuburko has the 83 of Brandon Gagnon behind him, giving him a push. And Chuburko's crawling back there to side by side with the 04 of Lee. And now, with 25 to go, we're starting something new. It's time to hear the sounds of the track as we are gonna pump up the intensity and hear those engines roar. Here we go. they were doing pump up the intensity. Two of the front runners just spun. And no caution came out. As now the field is all jumbled up. That was Matthew Lee and Raymond Rittenor II that ended up spinning out. But no caution came out. So both of them are far behind the other drivers. 13 seconds to be exact. The same thing happened last race to Matthew Lee, where he got involved in an incident and no caution came out. So now they're actually hoping for a caution later on so they can catch back up to the field. And when everything was all said and done, Curtis Critchley right now is the leader, but he's got the one machine of Garrett Maines as the leader of the high side, with the 99 of Jeffrey Wallace pushing him. We'll see if those two can work together. Both of them are part of CGE. What? I just now realized the top 4 is full of CGE drivers. And the top 5 if you count Pete Polini. So CGE is like plaguing this entire field. They're everywhere. You'd almost say this entire field is CGE. We got Critchley, Wallace, Maines, Navarro, Polini, all in like the top 7. I mean, you could throw a blanket over all of those CGE drivers. That's how close they are to each other. And we got some shifting around back there. He was forced up to the high side, but he ended up coming back down as there was a spot for him to fit in. But man, that's a shame for those two drivers of Matthew T. Lee and Raymond Rittenor II. Both of them. And looks like Raymond Rittenor II is into pit road. Did he get any damage, maybe? Or is he retiring for this one? And look, Matthew Lee is all by himself. He's all alone. He's just got clear track in front of him, clear track behind him. And I'm not sure what Raymond Rittenor is doing in pit road. Is he going to retire for the... Oh, he gets his damage fixed. He actually did have some damage. And he takes off. And I think he's going to be able to beat the leaders to where he won't go a lap down. Could be wrong, though. Because he still has to stay on the apron until he goes past that line, the blue line. Looks like they're just now coming into the trioval, the leaders, Critchley and Maines. Oh, some bird poop on his windshield. That fixed next time he goes into pit road. But I think Rittenor is going to be able to go back on the track and he won't get lapped. Going to be pretty close again, but it's just a shame that ended up happening to Matthew T. Lee and Raymond Rittenor. Ooh, getting a little bit loose. I saw he started to jerk the wheel a little bit. Curtis Critchley, and that's going to just give Garrett Maines a good run, courtesy also to a good push by Jeffrey Wallace, and we're going to have a new leader, Garrett Maines. A little deja vu to the past 2 races, where he led pretty much every single lap in both of those. That's now going to put Jeffrey Wallace as the leader of the high side, and he's got Pete Polini behind him. And man, there it is. The top 5 is all CGE drivers. Got Maines, Critchley, Wallace, Navarro, and Polini, with the next car, Brandon Chuberko, in 6th. That's not CGE. So they've got themselves a stout team with fast drivers, Critchley Gallant Engineering does. Curtis Critchley is right there helping to push Garrett Maines, but let's see if Jeffrey Wallace and Pete Polini can get anything done on the high side. Also got Brandon Gagnon up there as well. We serve RC Cola only, sir. me in the comments, does anybody here drink RC Cola? I mean, it's always usually Pepsi or Coke, but do we have any RC Cola drinkers, or maybe in your childhood did you have RC Cola on hand? I want to know. I'm very interested to hear what some people have to say. There's also got Spam on there. And also Robbie Gordon. I mean, if there's three things, if I can only pick three things in life, I'd choose to have. I'd drink only RC Cola, I'd eat only Spam, my favorite NASCAR driver and Baja truck driver would be Robbie Gordon. That'd be my ideal life. And looks like Polini ooh, that was so close. He almost got Wallace out in front of Garrett Maines. But he couldn't quite get it there. And now they start to fall behind as they lost Colin Willems behind it. And how did that happen? The 36 of Brandon Gackton got shuffled out. He was behind Polini, and then I saw some movement in the corner of my eye, and there we go. I mean, Brandon Gackton, he was able to find a spot to fit in, but he ended up losing. Actually, Brandon Gackton, oh no, he's in the wall! Say they bring out the caution. And no caution comes out as they're on the, oh no, and then there's Crystal King just runs right into them. No caution came out there, so more drivers falling behind. Brandon Gackton, Anthony Cronover, Crystal King, and Andrew Hansley. I think the only way that there's a lap car, I think that's either Matthew Lee or Raymond Ridenour that they're catching up on. And so far it's there it is. It's Raymond Ridenour who got shuffled out of the field, got in an incident with Matthew Lee, and no caution came out. It looks like Crystal King's engine blew. And looks like, there you go, Raymond Ridenour was cleanly lapped by these leaders. Man, some more drivers ended up getting involved in a wreck and no caution came out. Now, while all this was going on, the two of Andrew Navarro is now the leader of the high side. There's Chuberko. He moves down into that bottom line. There's Brandon Gagnon. He has a bunch of damage from that incident. He's going to have to go a lap down. Man, a lot of drivers' days potentially getting ended. And again, these drivers had to pay $25 to get into this race. Man. But right now we're watching the battle for $300, potentially. Maybe $370 if they can keep it clean. Andrew Navarro right now has the nose over Garrett Maines. Garrett Maines, though, clears Andrew Navarro. Jeffrey Wallace is trying the best that he can to give Navarro a good push. They're just not quite going anywhere. Oh, looks like they got a lap car. Oh, no! Did they save it? What a save! Andrew Navarro had a near miss as some of the cars that were involved in that incident coming off of pit road. They're going by them. But that was a near wreck between Andrew Navarro and Brandon Chuberko. As we are now nearing 10 laps to go, if you have been holding back throughout this race, it's go time. Let's get up front. And I know, I heard a strategy. Dale Earnhardt Jr., he's a very successful super speedway racer, won a bunch of times at Talladega, won a bunch of times on Daytona. In the Dale Jr. download, he said that his strategy was to pretend that he's just he wants to stay in front the entire time. And even if he was in, like, I don't know, 36th, he still wants to get up front to just try to make moves and stuff. So that's his strategy. Just try to pretend that you're always in first place or trying to get there. That's his motivation. No holding back. That's also kind of like the Dustin Dean strategy, or stay up front. But also you got your really, really aggressive guys up front. You got your Joeys, your Brads, where some wrong blocking and the entire front gets involved in an incident. And looks like we got a third line starting. Heath Snyder and Casey Herring. Thank you, John Bynes, for following. We really appreciate that as we are on the road to 1,000. And also, who's that? Oh, they like the stream. Thank you for that. As we look back out, again, Heath Snyder and Casey Herring. And we're 3 wide with 9 to go. Man, Heath Snyder and Casey Herring really want that $300 as they've made it 3 wide, and they're about to cross a lap car. I believe that's Crystal King. No, that's Justin Botello. Now, I mean, 3 wide, what could go wrong? A lot of things could go wrong here, but so far they've held it a lot longer than I thought they would. And looks like they have the 55 of Paul Mulrain up there. Colin Willems is up there. So they're starting we're consistent 3 wide. Didn't expect to see that, but of course you can do that at Talladega with its wide. It's a lot wider than Daytona. Daytona's a lot more skinnier. It's a skinnier track where if you go even 3 wide. Now I do know a lot of drivers like that high side because you have a lot of room to work around. You've got that is a lot of ample room to just work and stuff, but a lot of times you're going to want to stay right beside the person below you to get that side draft. But still, even if you do maybe overcorrect, and look, there goes Chu Burko up there. Alright, looks like we got some people merging into different lines. Oh, looks like the 278 of Crystal King is done for the day. He spent 5 minutes on pit road. Now, I do want to remind everyone that this is oh my gosh, we got lap cars. That's Brandon Gagnon and Matthew Lee. Both of them were involved in the incident with no caution. Oh my gosh, and they get into each other. They involve Colin Willems. And there we go. The first caution comes out here at Talladega. Hit a few incidents. But here we go. Let's check it out. What actually happened here with this wreckage replay. And a lot of it had to do with those lap cars. Matthew Lee and Brandon Gagnon. Check this one out. So Pete Polini, he went down on the apron knowing the fact that it was really, really risky. There they go. Looks like they chose to go on the bottom because they were actually running that high side. So that's the downside of going 3 wide, is that lap cars have nowhere to go. So they go down to the bottom. Everybody's checking down low like Pete Polini. They've got the 17 they're 3 wide with Colin Willems. And then 83 and the 04 get into each other. Then there's some net code into Colin Willems. It's like he was punched by air. Then they involve the 81 of Taylor Peacock. Does the 54 of Travis Turnmeyer avoid this? Oh my gosh, it's like he give him a shove. 17 on his side, and Travis Turnmeyer had nowhere to go. I want to see that, but from the view of Colin Willems. He got on his side. I mean, you feel so helpless when you're on your side, but he had nowhere to go. Boom. It's like he... What? There you can see. I mean, you know something's wrong when you're seeing the pavement and the sky at the same time. That's not supposed to happen, except for if you're on your feet. Man. Colin Willems. So we're now 5 laps to go here in this race. We had a very, very long green flag run, about 25 laps before the caution flag came out with that incident. And when the caution flag came out, Andrew Navarro was the leader in that Toyota Tundra. Got Heath Snyder and Brandon Chuberko behind him. We'll go ahead and do a quick flyby on the field to see where your favorite driver is currently in and any information about them. Oh, and this reminds me, I actually do have a recommendation. Since a lot of leagues are starting to use it, if you are on iRacing, you do race in some broadcasting leagues, I'd recommend that you go to visit www.sdkdriverinformation.com. I'm not sure, just visit SDK because you can actually enter in your driver information. And like, for example, Curtis Critchley, you can... Yeah, there you go. It says he's 21 years old, Kitchener, and you can list your sponsors. So this is just a recommendation. Go to SDK, and you can, because I know that a lot of other broadcasting companies, not just Intensity Broadcasting, actually do use SDK. You can make sure to message us on Facebook, Intensity Broadcasting, if you do want a link, because I mean, I've gone into just hosted sessions and I've seen that the race wasn't even broadcasted, but other drivers that aren't related to Intensity Broadcasting had SDK information. So make sure to just go ahead and enter in your SDK information, because just like Colin Willems, you can just give some driver information, how old you are, your hometown, some sponsors, maybe a fun fact like I have a pet raccoon. So I don't have a pet raccoon, but I know that Eddie Morris does have a pet raccoon named Rocket. So I mean, just fun facts like that you can enter in. And looks like the lights on the pace car have gone off as we're going to be going back green this time by Andrew Navarro on the bottom, Heath Snyder on the top. We are getting excited for this 3-lap shootout for $300. Who wants it more? Let's see. Right now, I think we're going to be seeing a lot more taking than giving here at Talladega. Not like we haven't been seeing that already. I think with about 10 to go, we saw some aggressive moves, especially those people that made it 3 wide, people like Casey Herring. I think Critchley was up there. Snyder. Here we go. Getting set for a good race here. 3-lap shootout. Here we go. Andrew Navarro, Keith Snyder, and everybody else. Who's going to win? Let's see. Green flag is out here at Talladega Superspeedway. There you go. 3 to go now. Does Heath Snyder and Casey Herring on the high side have anything for Andrew Navarro? Right now, Andrew Navarro is getting a great push from Chuburko, Brandon Chuburko, and Chuburko goes up to the, oh my gosh, he made it 3 wide. And that forces Heath Snyder out, and we're 3 wide. Garrett Mays, oh my gosh, we're like 4 wide in some parts. Just calm down, save it, save it, save it, save it, please, 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 please save it. Oh my gosh, there's the 43 car, we're like 4 wide. Calm down, Chuburko takes the lead. Please calm down. All right, we're nearing 2 to go. This is getting intense here. We're side by side. Andrew Navarro in the bottom. Oh, Casey Herring's in the wall. At the 07, and the second caution of the night comes out, and we'll have our first green-white checkered attempt. But oh my gosh, some big names got involved in that one. We'll check out the wreckage replay to see exactly what happened in this incident. There we go. So looks like we found exactly what happened here. There we go. Here we go. Let's check this out. So looks like was there contact? Yeah, some contact between the 77 and the 22 gets down into Paul Mulrain. Halliman is there. And we got the 07 involved, the 17 of Willems. Colin Williams is involved. Everybody's turning left and praying, and that worked for some. Got some people hitting into the wall. Looks like the 24 of Crow. No, that's Hansley. Hansley was able to avoid it. We're back live, and when the caution flag came out, Andrew Navarro was the leader. There was so much motion and commotion up front. There was like 3 wide. We were 4 wide. Everybody was going into the middle of the track. Dang, it was a mess. We do have a few cars on pit road. A lot of them, Crystal King is on pit road, but she's out of the race. Matthew T. Lee, Darren Halliman, Hansley the 4th, Casey Herring, and Heath Snyder all on pit road. It's like, who's that going back on the lead lap? Somebody did go back on the lead lap. I'm not exactly sure who that was. Torres? Yeah, wait, no, Torres is... I'm not sure who got on the lead lap, but regardless, they're going to be back on the lead lap. There's Heath Snyder heading out of the pits. Wallace. I think that was Taylor Peacock that got the wave around. Yep, it was Taylor Peacock in that 81 machine that got the wave around. They're going to be back on the lead lap and in contention for the win. Because pretty much, if you're on the lead lap, you've got a chance. But I mean, it's not always a lucky draw, as looks like Andrew Navarro has passed the pace car. Big move by him. Looks like the 12 goes behind the pace car to give him a good push there. We'll see if those two can get it working. Man, I don't think the pace car driver is very pleased by that. That's very... Man, I feel bad for the pace car driver. And just Andrew Navarro tried to pass the pace car. Pace car is always the winner in these races. They're always in front, just where they want to be. But then they go onto pit road for no reason. I guess they're scared of the cars going 195 miles per hour out there. But I mean, it would be pretty cool to be a pace car driver. And there we go. Lights, speaking of pace car, lights on the pace car have gone off, and we're going to be going green, white, checkered racing. All right, Brett Bodine. We have been debating that for weeks on which Bodine was the pace car driver. It's Brett Bodine. It's not Jeffrey. I thought it was Jeff Bodine. But no, it is Brett Bodine is the pace car driver in iRacing. And then there's Barney the Flagman. And then the spotter, your default spotter, and And Brett Bodine, he's also the full-time pace car driver for the Cup Series, but iRacing has its own cast of characters. You got all the fans, Barney the Flagman, pace car, and the RVs. Sometimes there's RVs in the infield. I think at Talladega there are some. All those people that came out and camping. I do know that Talladega has one of the craziest and weirdest infield of all time. There's mud wrestling and everything, and oh my gosh. Wonder if it's that crazy in iRacing. I mean, iRacing is such a great job with details. There's so many like different touches. Like there's fireworks at the end of some races. You can see an airplane at Daytona. There's like so many cool touches that iRacing adds, and it's just so awesome. And there we go. Pace car pulls in. And we're getting set to go back green here. Here we go. Brandon Chuberko, Andrew Navarro. Let's see what happens here. And Andrew Navarro gets the restart. Him and Garrett Maines get a good run. And both of them are going to jump out to the front and move down to the bottom. Does anybody have anything on the high side? Pretty chill. But I think right now we're in the eye of the storm. And there we see some of the storm going up to the high side. Christian Sanford, but oh, they just go back down. We got some people getting a run up there. Hunter Parsons, Owen Maines, and Chuberko go up to the high side. Andrew Navarro is on the bottom now. Can they make it to the start-finish line, or will we have to have another? We're 3 wide. Here comes that third line with Hunter Parsons and Travis Turnmeyer. And here we go. Final lap. White flag is out. Caution flag will end the race, and they'll race back to the finish. We're 3 wide right now. Andrew Navarro has the nose. Oh, and the 12 of Chuberko turns. He saves it. He's able to stay on the track. He gets a little bump from Sanford, and there it is. 2 wide. The 2 cars out front. There's Hunter Parsons coming into the mix again. We're 3 wide as we enter 3 and 4. What is gonna happen here? Who is content with pushing, and who's gonna jump out and ditch the person who they're pushing? We're side by side as we enter the tri-oval. This is what you all came and stayed for. Here we go. 28 goes to the bottom. Hunter Parsons. That was too close to call, but Hunter Parsons ends up getting the win. That was just by, what in the world? That had to have been 1/100th of a second. Was the gap, man? Look at that gap right there. With the two of Andrew Navarro not far behind. What a photo finish. Couldn't have asked for any better finish here. That is awesome racing. Also Christian Sanford, Chuberko, and Turnmeyer were there. But congratulations to winner Hunter Parsons on getting the win here at Talladega, as he's going to get ready to burn her down. Oh, he's blinking. No. Yep, the 22-year-old from Green Bay. Gonna do a burnout? All right, here we go. Here we go. There we go. Burn it down, Hunter. Awesome race. Whew. Just did a few curly cues and then manually disconnects. But we are now getting set to look at the final finishing results, brought to you by Fort Worth Screen Printing. So winning this race by only 0.12 of a second is Hunter Parsons. But also very close behind was Garrett Maines. Finishing third was Andrew Navarro. Behind him was Brandon Chuberko. And rounding out your top five is Travis Turnmeyer. Sixth place was Christian Sanford. Seventh was Justin Botello. Finishing eighth was Paul Mulrain. Ninth ended up being Curtis Critchley. Then behind Curtis Critchley was 10th place driver Jeffrey Wallace. Finishing 11th was Pete Polini. 12th was Casey Herring. Finishing 13th with Heath Snyder. Now the rest of these drivers that I am going to name were all a lap down. 14th was Chance D. Manning. Then rounding out your top 15 was Taylor Peacock. 16th was Anthony Cronover. 17th, Andrew Hansley the fourth. Finishing 18th was Michael White. 19th was Raymond Ridenour the second. And then behind Raymond was 20th place finisher Colin Willems. 21st was Darren Halliman. 22nd was Jared H. Torres. 23rd, Matthew Lee. 24th, Brandon Gagnon. And last but not least, it was Crystal King. That is the finishing results. We're going to go and take a quick break as we wait for all the drivers in the top three to get into the waiting room, and then we'll do our top three interviews. Alright, so we have all three of the top three finishers in the waiting room. Let's start off by pulling in third place driver, Andrew Navarro. Andrew, this is Atlee in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep.
Man, well, that was an exciting race. You had a great run down the stretch, but you ended up losing your help, and that put you in a tough situation where you ended up having to settle for third. I mean, give us a little rundown on what happened here at Talladega.
This qualifying didn't go as well as I thought it would. We had to start in the heats. I was hoping not to, because those go kind of every which way. But first part of the race was pretty calm, and then it started going 3 wide, and then there was that huge crash, no caution. So we were just trying to put as many people a lap down there, and then at the end, not sure really what happened, but yeah.
Yeah, and it came with that. So, what kind of communication does it take, or is it every man for himself there on that final lap? Considering help wise, like who was pushing you and stuff.
I really don't know. Just I guess you try to control both lanes and try to go from there, but
I got you. Well, overall, it was a great race by you, and anybody you'd like to thank sponsor wise or shout outs before we let you go?
yeah, 7Cs, CGE, Phantom GFX, they're a lot of help, and yeah.
Yeah, that's always good to have supporters. But congratulations on third place. Enjoy I believe it's the $135. So enjoy that, and hopefully we'll catch you and be able to talk to you next week. Go ahead now and pull in second place finisher Garrett Maines. Hey Garrett, this is Atlee in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, well that was. I thought you had a chance to make it 3 in a row. You were dominant in the past 2 races. You started 12th in the start of the feature. You worked your way up and had to battle hard, and it was a very, very close finish between you and Hunter Parsons. 12 hundredths. I mean, give us a breakdown of what happened here for you here at Talladega.
Man, I screwed up qualifying. Didn't realize it was first lap. That was, that was the start of it. But there at the end, I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't see how much of a run they had until they were already coming for us. And if I had just stayed in line where I was, the race was over. And I'm watching this back, it pains me. I moved off of Cheburko's bumper just enough that in the last 100 yards coming to the line, you see Cheburko get to my inside because I moved off of his bumper, killed his run, killed my run, and it was about a quarter car length, and that was less than I lost by. So definitely frustrating. I did that to myself, but they came out of nowhere. So I mean, great job to them. Definitely making a last second charge there, making it happen with 2 cars up top 3. Like, pretty impressive. But man, that one's gonna be hard to swallow.
But another thing is the fact that you and your CGE teammates were also up there. Did you find yourself working with them? You got like Andrew Navarro, Wallace was up there, Critchley.
Yeah, I was trying to work with them. We all got separated on that pit stop. It was kind of like a strategy call for us to come down pit road. Andrew wanted to play it safe, or play it risky and safe, whatever you want to call it, and try to stay the leader, assuming that it goes green, which, I mean, it was a bad situation to be in, period. So I went ahead with the fuel call, made that. We tried to get back up there. We were in good position. Curtis was kind of the odd man out. We really didn't have a way to get him up there. And just coming to the line there, we made a last second decision trying to. I was going to push Andrew to it, but I was like, well, dang, we can finish 1-2 if we play this right. And I made a mistake coming to the line. I cost. It would have been a 1-3. There was no way when the guy dipped out on Andrew that he was going to finish second. But had I not done it to myself, it might have worked out. I keep watching this back, and it's painful because I realize how much of a mistake it was, and I didn't do anything right on that last 100 yards.
But still, that was a great performance by you. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I got to thank OfferPad, Linux, Swag, ComServe, all the guys at ESC, Smithfield, SimSeats, just everybody that's been making it happen. Looking forward to Homestead and the Coke Series. We had a really good show at Daytona and ended our race coming off of turn 4 via netcode. So hoping for some more luck. Thankfully, we still salvaged a 13th place finish on what would have been a top 5, but at the end of the day, just big thank you to everybody that makes it happen over there.
Awesome. It's always good to have awesome sponsors and supporters, but hopefully we'll be able to talk to you next week, as you've been in the top 3 for 3 races in a row, maybe 4, I'm not sure, but you've been very consistently in the top 3, so hopefully we'll be able to talk to you next week.
I hope so, man. Thank you.
Right, and last but not least, let's go ahead and pull in Hunter Parsons. Hey, Hunter, this is Atlee in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep, I do.
Well, that was a crazy situation for you. You were actually the biggest mover of the race, first of all. Started in last place because you barely got in with that 10th spot in heat race number 2. But after that, you worked your way up through this race, and you ended up being 12 hundredths of a second over Garrett Maines with a close finish. You played your pieces right, and you ended up getting the win. Just give us a quick breakdown on what happened here at Talladega from your point of view.
Yeah, well, it started off in that heat race. I was riding comfortably in 8th. Didn't have too much to worry about in that little wreck at the end. It got me squirrely, and my buddy Taylor was watching and was just asking him to keep track of where I was at, and he said I was 10th, so that's all I needed to know. And like I've always heard, you got to be in it to win it. So then through that whole feature there, just kind of hung back. I knew there was going to be some wild stuff going on, and hung back a little further than I wanted to, and definitely would not have gotten any chance at a win if it wasn't for that caution with about 7-8 to go. And after that, just had a nice restart with the 54 behind me, and was able to just make a third lane work and get by Garrett there for the win. And hats off to Garrett for a good hard finish there.
Yeah, but coming to that green-white checkered, I mean, what was going through your head? Did you think he had a chance, or would you have settled for second or third?
Yeah, I certainly would have settled for a top 5, starting 25th. It's a lot of good guys in that group that know what they're doing, and definitely that last green-white checkered, I knew it was going to be time to either make it or break it. I added just enough fuel for probably not even one last green-white checkered, so that definitely played off pretty well, and I knew there was either going to be a wild wreck at the end or we were going to finish right there, so had to make it or break it.
Absolutely. Well, awesome job. Great win. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, everyone in the 101 Discord, we run together day in and day out, and for that race, I was in a straight cash money league Discord with Taylor Peacock and Darren Hellman. They were just kind of letting me know what was going on and kind of cheering me on there at the finish, and just Ian for putting on this fun deal, and it's been a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, it's always fun racing here in the iSSL Superspeedway Series, and it was definitely fun for you watching you get that crazy finish, but hopefully we'll see you get another top 3 next week and be able to talk to you again.
Yep, see you then.
That was an awesome race here at Talladega Superspeedway. Fantastic finish. Couldn't have asked for a better finish. Again, 1200th of a second is a close finish. And kudos to Hunter Parsons and all the rest of the drivers that participated in this race. And also, make sure to check out Fort Worth Screen Printing. Look them up on Facebook, and I did put their website in the description. Thank you, everyone, for watching this race on Intensity Broadcasting. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Especially Facebook, as we are on the road to 1,000 by April 27th. And I think that's a goal that we can hit as a racing and iRacing community. So let's get there. And also, I do want to say that this Sunday, after the 500, we're going to have the Original Rebels Racing League. Actually, no, it's canceled. They're not doing it because of the 500. So we're going to have a little break until Monday with the iOS. So make sure to turn on notifications so you know exactly when we go live, so you won't miss all the awesome racing action. And hopefully I'll catch you there. I'm Atlee Weiss. Thank you for watching. Over and out.